Yeah, well, you need the other half. A little bit critical. You're good, Norman.
Yeah, as long as they don't have a card.
This is a day, Hannah.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Office of the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. Before we begin, a brief item of business. There is an official photographer, and so we would ask you to please refrain from taking photographs, especially if it requires you to get up from your seats and to enter the front area or the middle aisles. And also a reminder about cell phones and pagers at this time. And ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to please rise and join me in welcoming their honors, the Honorable David C. Onley, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, and her honor, Mrs. Ruth Ann Onley.
Thank you for being here on this
important occasion, certainly important for all of you for very obvious reasons, which will become clearer and clearer in the next number of moments. And for Ruth Ann and myself, as this is our very first in-house official ceremony in my term as the 28th Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. So it gives us great pleasure to welcome all of you here today for this very important occasion, something that is, in terms of its general theme, is very near and dear to my heart. So, Mr. Marcello, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome you here to Queen's Park. It's a real pleasure to, as well, see some very familiar faces from my previous career, and we'll be addressing that later on too, I'm sure, after words in the reception. But I like to quote people whenever I can, and the philosopher Confucius is one of those people who wrote, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." We've all heard that at one point or another in our lives, and I suppose if we think back to where we are now in terms of our careers and in terms of our lives, we can think back to what some of those first steps actually were. In 1997, though, George Marcello's journey of many thousand kilometers across Canada and around Europe began with the step taken by a grieving family 2 years before. It is estimated that each deceased donor in Canada helps an average of 3 patients facing death from organ failure. Some can save even more. By donating his organs, the family of the late Olympic swimmer Victor Davis helped save 6 lives. By one unknown donor whose liver saved George Marcello from almost certain death in 1995 is probably indirectly thus saved thousands of lives. And how many more will there be in the future, we simply don't know, but there will be many more. So because of that one act of generosity, it set Mr. Marcello out on his journey to raise public awareness of Canada's low rate of organ and tissue donations. It is quite shockingly low, and I know most of you are aware of that, for a nation of people who pride themselves on their justifiable neighborliness and, frankly, generosity. And Canadians are indeed generous. We do volunteer. We donate our time. We donate goods. We donate money to worthy causes. And we rally when called upon to remedy injustice or to honor great deeds. We do like to donate. But in this one area of donating organs, we lag behind most developed nations. For example, Spain, with the highest organ donations rate in the world, has 25.1 donations per million population. Other countries like Austria with 24.8 per million and France with 22.5 per million are not far behind. Canada, however, according to data released in 2004, has a rate of only 13.5 million, a figure that has remained stagnant over the past 10 years. The picture of living donations is brighter. The number of living donors is double what it was 10 years ago, so progress is being made there. But even that figure has plateaued over the most recent 2 years surveyed. Now, experts point to our aging population and fewer traumatic injury deaths as possible causes, and I know that in my previous career I reported on that and discussed that with various experts. But I tend to agree with Mr. Marcello. Like him, I believe that if Canadians were made aware of the desperate need for organ and tissue donations, they would respond with their customary generosity that features the fabric of the rest of our culture. And this is why I wish Step to Step's 6th campaign, SOS4000,